Bulgaria's Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister, Assen Vassilev, joins me now from Sofia. Good afternoon and good to have you with us speaking here on Sky News. Just let's get your reaction first to this move by Russia.
Bulgaria has been following the contract exactly as we have been for the last 10 years. And we had the Russian side trying unilaterally to impose changes to the payment terms and other terms in the contract, which we refused and requested clarification on why that's necessary. As a result, what we saw is we received a letter yesterday. Today, we were cut off from deliveries on the part of Gazprom, which has been a long-standing supplier of gas to Bulgaria.
Ursula von der Leyen says that Europe has been prepared for this. They were expecting this. There are plenty of alternatives. What are they? What is Bulgaria's alternative to this right now?
So we had about between 2/3 and 3/4 of the gas delivered by Russia. Since February, we've put alternative plants in place. We have large existing interconnectivity with Greece and Turkey. As of right now, we receive part of the gas from Azerbaijan through connectivity in Greece. We are also receiving gas from LNG terminals in Greece and working on receiving gas from LNG terminals in Turkey. We've also circulated the non-paper at the European Union level because Bulgaria is a relatively small gas market, about 3.5 billion cubic meters. But our interconnectivity allows for gas to flow from south to north of about 22 billion cubic meters. So we can be part of the solution not only for Bulgaria, but also for Southeastern Europe in general. And we've also had
You say that, but Bulgaria depends on Russia for 77% of your gas supply. This is a significant hit for your country, isn't it?
No. As of today, we have 0% Russian gas. We haven't limited any gas supply to any of our industries or any of our people. And we have activated the alternative routes and sources. So as I said, since February, we've been ready for this moment. We were hoping it would not come and that Russia would honor its contracts. But it came and we haven't had any interruption in supply, and we don't expect any interruption in supply. As I said, about a month ago, we pushed for a common European purchasing strategy on gas, because for LNG, in those quantities, you need careful scheduling and large-scale deliveries. Bulgaria has done its own supply reservations at the LNG terminals, as well as all the pipelines that we need to get the gas from Greece and Turkey to Bulgaria. But in addition to our 3 billion cubic meters, we can take supply from the Southern Gas Corridor as well as LNG terminals in Greece and Turkey to the tune of about 20 billion cubic meters that can then go to Romania and from there to the rest of Europe, or go to Serbia, Hungary, and then to the rest of Europe. We've even had discussions on some of those.
Sorry, I didn't want to talk across you. The Kremlin has released a statement saying that, you know, it's a simple matter of Bulgaria paying in rubles. This is what they have asked for all along. You know, they are a reliable energy supplier and it doesn't engage in blackmail. Your response to that?
It's a simple matter of following the contract. The contract says we pay in US dollars in a specific account in Gazprom Bank. Any change to the contract done unilaterally, regardless of how nicely it's requested or how nicely it's not requested, is a change of contract which the other party needs to agree. We haven't agreed to that change of contract, which means that Russia is now breaking the contract, and we will obviously go to International Arbitration Court to seek for damages.
Why do you think Bulgaria has been targeted in this way specifically?
I don't think Bulgaria is being targeted. Poland, Bulgaria, and my understanding is Lithuania were the first countries that had payments due to Gazprom. I think the other countries that are coming up with payments, if they follow the strategy of paying exactly as per contract and not accepting unilateral contract changes, would probably face the same situation.
Do you think it might be because Bulgaria is involved in providing military equipment to Ukraine?
I don't think there is a link between the two. We've seen, for example, Turkey providing very vital military equipment to Ukraine, and we haven't heard about any gas supplies getting cut to Turkey.
Would you consider paying in rubles to Russia? I mean, how long can you carry on with these alternative methods for?
Forever. And no, we will not pay in rubles.
You seem pretty frustrated and angry in the way Russia has dealt with this situation.
Well, I think we've had bilateral relations that are constructive, and what we've seen is a unilateral breach of contract. That obviously doesn't make us happy. I wouldn't say we're angry. We were prepared for that because we've had similar incidents in 2009, 2014. We were one of the first in the European Union to get to push for contingency plans for deliveries. We've made our contingency plans. Our Gazprom contracts expires at the end of this year anyways. Basically what we see going forward is zero Russian gas in our economy.
While I have you, I'd like to ask you about what you feel about the situation on the ground in Ukraine, what's happening and where this is all headed.
It's a terrible human tragedy that we're seeing. The fact that we have targeting of civilians, I think, is beyond belief and something which cannot be justified with any rhetoric on the Russian side. We support Ukraine firmly. We support all the sanctions. We were pushing for strict sanctions to be imposed on Russia. And we think that right now there is a lot of focus that is done on delivering equipment, which is very important for Ukraine. I think also we need to start thinking and planning ahead for the incoming winter. Where there will need to be a lot of logistical work that needs to be done, making sure there is sufficient food supply, making sure Ukraine can receive sufficient gas to heat its people and keep its economy going. Making sure that all the logistical corridors work. All of those are critical matters that if we wait until September, October, November, would be too late. We need to start preparing for that now. And we actually had some conversations with the Ukrainian Minister of Finance and how we might be able to help there. We have a delegation led by our Prime Minister going to meet with Mr. Zelensky tomorrow, which is focused exactly on those issues. Beyond the military conflict and weapons, which seem pretty much at hand at this point. How can we move to the next part, which is making sure the Ukrainian economy is stable and that the incoming winter, which is going to be very tough, regardless of when the war ends, is properly planned for, and that the Ukrainians have all the food, all the energy supplies, and all the existing infrastructure logistics-wise to be able to make sure that their people are actually cared for.
Deputy Prime Minister Assen Vassilev, thanks very much indeed for speaking to us here on Sky News. Thank you.